I just got back from vacation and I scoped out some pretty awesome record stores. We're going to talk about it on this episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. Welcome to another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk. As always, before we get started, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button, and the notifications to let you know whenever a new episode drops on our channel. I am an avid fan of record stores, obviously, as evident by my Amoeba shirt that I got in LA a few years ago. And I went on vacation this week to the west side of the state of Michigan, went to beautiful places like Grand Rapids, Holland, Saugatuck, Fremont, White Cloud, and a couple other areas, and really just enjoyed the scenery. But as the problem I had to find any local record stores. Now, there was a few different options in Grand Rapids, but a lot of them were like antique stores that happened to have vinyl that were overpriced, or like niche or niche type things. But then I came across this store called Vinyl Alchemy. Now, walking into that place, it is very cool, very chill, and everything is organized so beautifully. And the thing that I was stunned by more than anything else was the variety. A lot of local record stores you'll find stock more kind of what the owner of the store likes. So a lot of times you'll find more metal than anything else. Which, if that's, what their customers like, that's awesome. But when I go, I want variety because my collection is very eclectic. I mean, I have stuff ranging from Billie Eilish to Living Colour to ZZ Top to Simon and Garfunkel to Madonna and Billy Joel and AJR and just like Taylor Swift. Just a good album's a good album for me. So that's what my collection is based around. It's just stuff that I really enjoy across the broad spectrum of music. So walking through, I had to go back a second time because the first time I went, I didn't have a lot of money on me. I just kind of wanted to scope the place out. But one record did catch my eye first, and I had to get it. And this is Colin Hay's Man at Work. This album is Colin Hay doing some Men at Work songs that are acoustic versions, as well as some new songs as well. And what I really liked about this is it is on orange vinyl. As you've seen in some other videos, I'm a sucker for a good color pressing. So yeah, I had to snag that. And it was under $30, and I had the money at the time, and I made a little list in my head of what I would look for when I came back again. But I didn't want to look too deep that first time because I knew if I found stuff like this, I might be in danger of finding a lot more. So I went and had my vacation, came back the Thursday, the last full day and night I was going to be in town. This time I had more finances with me, and I really started to dig. And the first thing I found when I really started to dig, this was this album, and it is a beautiful album. I believe this album is his best album, in my opinion. I know it's a hot take, but I'm talking about George Michael's Listen Without Prejudice. This album is the new reissue that just came out. Oh my gosh, I forget when. I gotta look here. 2016. This was re-released in 2016. 180 gram. Sounds amazing. The album is just stellar. Don't get me wrong. Faith and Older are both great albums. Patience, I kind of can take or leave. But this album, I mean, Praying for Time, Freedom 90, They Will Go When I Go, Waiting for That Day, Heal the Pain. It's so good. So I was so happy to find this. And then I found a Holy Grail album for me. Now, for those of you who don't know, a Holy Grail album for me is an album that I've always wanted to have in my collection that I think is a masterpiece, or just for some reason I really, really want it, but I've never seen it in the wild. And so I had to find it eventually. And I've got a little list there, and in the comments, I'll put my official Holy Grails list if you guys are interested in such a thing. But the one I came across, this album, for me, is a masterpiece. Every song is amazing. The production is stellar. The songwriting's great. It's just awesome. And this is Ben Folds 5, Whatever and Ever Amen, their debut album. Brick and Song for the Dumped were the big, huge songs off this. But songs like Kate and One Angry Dwarf, Fair is an amazing song. Battle of Who Could Care Less. It's just a really, really great album. And I was so stoked to find that. These have all been opened, of course, because I can't help myself. So there's not really an unboxing. I'm just talking about the stores and what I found. So that's all I got there. There was more that I really could have gotten, but I was working with the budget, and I really didn't want to go too far outside of that. With my vinyl habit, I try now to limit myself to about $50 a month that I spend on records. But as I hadn't bought any in a while, and this was my vacation, I splurged a little bit. But they are awesome. I highly recommend if you're in, around, near, or swinging through the Grand Rapids area, please check out Vinyl Alchemy. They're wonderful. The people that work there are great, knowledgeable, really fun. They play wonderful music, and it's a really great atmosphere. Highly recommend it. Now, the last thing I did on my trip is, on the way home, I stopped by one of my best friends, Andrew's house, and we went out to a place that I had never been to. I'd been there once before they had moved, but that was years ago, and that was a place called the Record Lounge. Now, this place is now inside kind of a flea market kind of vibe, but their selection, oh my God. They have so much. They had things ranging, and I had to control myself again. I only got one record, even though I was tempted to get a couple others. But they have, everything you could think of, from Boys to Men and Metallica and Taylor and, and everything in between. Andrew picked up a Sia record, which was a really cool album. And I was flipping through and came across this. This album is something my good friend Glenn had shown me one day when we were hanging out listening to records. And it blew my mind. If anybody's familiar with the band Arctic Monkeys, the lead singer has a side project called The Last Shadow Puppets. And I picked up Everything You've Come to Expect, which is their sophomore album. They had both albums, but this is the one I listened to at Glenn's house, and I knew I loved it and really wanted to have this. So I picked this up at the Record Lounge. Also, awesome place. The people that work there are really nice, really fun. Neither of the stores that I went to, I felt like I was walking into High Fidelity or anything, where they felt like they know more than me, so they're kind of snooty or anything like that. They were both very welcoming, very warm, very anxious to try and help me find things, very curious about things that I enjoy, to maybe point me in the direction of things that I also might enjoy. Very, very cool store. If you're in Lansing, that store, I actually, I like Flat Black and Circular. It's a long-standing tradition in Lansing, but the Record Lounge is where it's at. That place is awesome. So I highly recommend those two places, Vinyl Alchemy and the Record Lounge. Both awesome, both really worth checking out. And that's going to do it for this episode of my vacation recap. And we got some more content coming soon, so stick around. I'm not doing videos every day or whatever, but I'm trying to be more consistent. And when I come up with something to do a video on, or I get a new record, anytime I get a new album, things like that. We're gonna have fun videos throughout the year. So also there's gonna be another vinyl giveaway coming. That's gonna be the next couple of months. We had a lot big success with the vaccines vinyl giveaway, and we're gonna do one more of those here, probably around August, September, October, in that area. So definitely stick around for that too. And we will see you again for another episode of Todd's Turntable Talk.